Hey,
Power washer!
I can't with you. Power washer!
Yep. I'm taking over the episode today with another movie review.
Mark is in the driver's seat. I get to sit back and listen like you guys.
So, this movie that I have watched recently is called Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Yes, really, that is the title.
Sailor Suit and Machine Gun.
Yes.
Is it in English?
It is not. But I will get back to that later.
Okie dokie.
This movie is a 1981 coming-of-age / drama / Yakuza / weirdly dark comedy movie from Japan.
Should we say Yakuza? Or
should
we call them harmonicas?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yakuza's fine.
Yeah, but...
They are not going to come after me just for saying that they exist.
Okay.
Anyway, it's not like the Mafia. That shit.
Well, they kind of are like the Mafia.
But you're probably thinking to yourself, this doesn't sound like something that would fit what the podcast is about. Well, I may have bent the rules a little bit for this one.
Great.
You see, for those of you that don't know, the Yakuza are Japanese gangsters that are essentially their version of the Mafia.
Right, like I said.
But, like, in the barest comparison, like, the Yakuza, they are known to do, like, really fucked up shit. I'm not even, I'll get into that in another episode, maybe. Like, there's plenty of other Yakuza films that I might also review. Number one on that list, by the way, is called Ichi the Killer, which is a very fucked up movie from what I've heard.
Ichi the Killer.
Ichi, like I-C-H-I, which is one in Japanese. But I'm gonna talk about Sailor Suit. Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, or colloquially known as just Sailor Suit, because that's a fucking long-ass title.
Okay.
It is about a 17-year-old high school girl whose father passes away in a tragic car accident off-screen. They never show it, but they do talk about it in depth at one point near the end in a holy shit kind of moment.
I do love a holy shit kind of moment.
When she loses her father, she gains a family. A dysfunctional, rowdy, violent gang family.
There is that.
As it turns out, her father was to be named the next chairman of the Medaka family Yakuza gang. But since he died...
And this is in Japan.
This takes place in Japan.
Okay.
So, since he had died before he could be named the new chairman, the previous chairman, who was dying at the beginning of the movie, he's just like, find my nephew, who happens to be the father. And off-screen, they mentioned that, like, if for whatever reason my nephew can't be the next chairman, find his next of kin.
Okay.
Which is a 17-year-old high school girl.
That's always fun.
So,
can we just talk about that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. Formerly told him to find his next of kin, 17-year-old Izumi Hoshi. Now, the Medaka family, which is only comprised of 4 men at this point, who are Makoto Sakuma, Masa, Hiko, and Mei. There's only one that has, like, a full name. They weren't aware that the new leader would be a goddamn child! But they're rather respectful toward her nonetheless, because that's...
They gonna get fucked up if they ain't?
Well, not even that. It's just like, the Yakuza, much like a lot of gangs, have, like, a code of honor to it.
Right.
So, like, if that's supposed to be their new leader, that's supposed to be their new leader, and they're gonna treat them as such. So, Sakuma kind of takes the role of a father/uncle figure throughout the movie.
Okay. As
he teaches her, you know, the duties of her position and what her new life will now entail. Meaning, talking, like, setting deals with other Yakuza leaders, holding turf, you know, stereotypical gangster stuff, basically. Now, as you may think, the other heads of the other Yakuza families, they think it's a joke that this already, like, on their last breath Yakuza gang is now in the hands of a high school girl. With no experience whatsoever in the criminal underground of Japan. Like, literally, when they find out that she's supposed to be the next chairman, they show up at her school and just basically take her off the grounds and then explain everything on the way to their headquarters.
Wow, what a way to leave school that day.
Yeah, like it was like, that's where like the weirdly dark comedy part comes in, because it's like, after the one Yakuza leader dies, the one that is like, find my nephew, that kind of thing. Which, by the way, that scene in of itself was weirdly funny, because this is actually kind of funny. This, like, legit is actually kind of funny. Like, the one, Sakuma is just like, you're a doctor, you should help them out. And he's just like, well, I can't heal him, but I can at least give him something for the pain. He pulls out this giant-ass syringe, and one of them's like, that syringe is way too much! And he's just like, what kind of doctor are you? I'm like, he's like, I'm a vet! And he's like, Sakuma looks over at the other guy, and he's like, a vet? And he's like, what? The sign said hospital on it! Yeah, animal hospital!
Oh, God. I saw a movie. What movie did I see that it was like that?
I don't know.
I did. I have seen a movie that was like, what kind of doctor are you? I'm a vet. A vet? I've seen that before.
But
it's pretty funny.
yeah, it's definitely one of those things. But I digress. After that, it cuts to her just enjoying her day at school. And then, like, at the end of the day, that's when they go out, there's, like, a whole, like, hullabaloo going on. The entire school is, like, gathered in the, like, the basketball court or whatever. You see this wall of Yakuza members at the entrance gate, and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And Izumi is, like, a very headstrong girl, like, she has, like, a childlike naivety that also kind of gives her like this brash demeanor.
Alright, well, I can understand the brash. Apparently
So, like,
I'm really abrasive.
So the whole school sees these Yakuza folk, and then they're like, Izumi, let's go around the back, it'll be safer. And she's like, no, I don't want to go around the back, I want to go that way. That way being the entrance through the Yakuza. So she goes up there by herself, and then the one Yakuza guy, I'm pretty sure it was Sakuma, is just like, are you Izumi Hoshi? And she's like, yeah. He's like, alright, come with me. Yoink! And then I'm just like,
yeeted her the fuck out of there, huh?
I was like, hold on a second. What? So, again, going back to where I originally was in my rant, the other Yakuza leaders think it's a goddamn joke that this family is now led by a high schooler. But because of her attitude and how she presents herself, like, she's a cute girl. Like, for like 1980s standards.
That's when this movie was, you said?
Yeah, it takes place in 1981. Like, cute girl. Not in that way, because I know some of you are probably out there like, oh, dude, that's creepy. And it's just like, no. Cute girl, because it also, she's supposed to be like a teen idol, because she actually was. She was like she was a model, a singer, all the kind of...
Oh, damn. All the things.
Yeah. Like, think of like... How can I put it? I don't know, like Selena Gomez. Like, TV star, movie star, singer, model, like, all that shit. Cute girl, you know, high schooler, and then, like, you see her with this attitude, and you're like, that doesn't fit! That doesn't fit with how you look! So she's just, like, blowing everyone's mind, like, how is this girl this crazy? And at one point, the one Yakuza leader is, like, offended by how she acts, and, like, ties her up to a crane hook, and dunks her in, like, I thought it was cement at first, but apparently it was just, like, really dirty, muddy water to, like, teach her a lesson. She is constantly underestimated because of her age, and is put in constant danger due to her naivety. Because the criminal underworld is mostly, you know, degenerate, horny old men. So they're kind of like...
I was about to say, it's typically run by men.
Yeah. So...
Especially the Yakuza.
Yeah. So, like, they're all kind of being like, you know what we should do with her, right? And I'm like, I know what you shouldn't do with her, but I know I am just a spectator at this point,
Yeah.
and I am not heard. But every time that, like, anything like that is brought up, her followers, like Sakuma and all of them, they step right in and are like, you lay a finger on her, and I swear, you are going to have a bullet through your head.
And I can promise that would happen.
And throughout the movie, there's, like, it's like a 2-hour movie. So throughout the movie, it has scenes of her interacting with each individual member.
Okay.
And kind of forming, like, you know, like an actual, like, friendship with them. Like,
right. Well, and because she's young.
yeah. And, like...
And now she's going through this whole fucking...
Yeah, she was literally thrown into this world completely outside of her control. So, so every time she's put into danger, she manages to come out of it physically unscathed, mentally and emotionally, yeah. There's a scene near the end where she, like, actually goes off on a major gang.
Wow. That takes a lot of balls.
But, like, each scene where she's interacting with her I don't want to say underlings because she doesn't treat them like they're underlings. Like I said, she kind of treats them like family in a sense. Like, which one was it? Was it Hiko? Hiko is, like, the wild child of the group. Like, he was like, yeah, I joined the Yakuza because, like, I didn't feel like I fit in with any other career path, and, you know, I felt like this would probably be the best way for me. He shows up dead on their steps, like, the next day. And I'm just like, dude, they just established that friendship, and you're gonna take it away already.
That's not cool.
And then May is a guy, by the way.
Oh.
May, it's M-E-I.
Not the month.
Yeah, not that.
Not the month.
But he's kind of he's kind of childish, but in the sense that, like...
Is he slow, or...?
That's kind of how they portray him. Like, he's not retarded. I'm sorry for using the word. He's not, like...
Mentally challenged.
Yes, he is not disabled to that extent. But you can kind of tell that, like, you know, he's not... He's immature. He's immature for how old he is. And he kind of acts like a bodyguard, and at one point, he gets into a fight with a corrupt cop who stabs him, but not fatally. So he's, like, holding himself, trying to stop the flow of blood. Gets to the family headquarters, and is like, hey, boss, kind of need a hand right now. And she's like, why? What happened? Oh my god! So, she's, like, cleaning him up, wrapping the ace bandage around him, making sure there's pressure. Like, what you would expect, like, a mother to do, basically.
Right.
And, he might have been woozy from the blood loss, because it was pretty bad. He got him, like right in here.
I heard you motherfucking and holy shitting in there.
No, that was the other movie.
You're gonna do, gotcha.
Yes. This one I watched, like the other night, like 2 nights ago. But yeah, so he gets stabbed, she's like, bandaging him up, and he's, like, you could tell he was, like, kind of fading. Like, it might have been just, like, from the blood loss, but, like, you knew he was gonna make it.
Probably going into shock.
Yeah. He's like, you smell really nice, you kind of remind me of my mom, all that. And, like...
Why they gotta go and say shit like that?
He's like, you remind me of my mom, and then, like, I don't want to, like, I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it that doesn't make it sound worse than it is. But
it's a different culture, too.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's, like, he kind of, like, embraces her and they fall down, so it kind of looks suggestive, but you know it isn't from the previous context.
Right.
And he's just kind of, like, she's just, like, sitting down. He's, like, embracing her, and he's just, like, I miss my mom, that kind of shit. Like,
and he's all fucked up!
Yeah. So, like I say, you can tell he's out of it because of the blood loss. And... he stands up and he's like, oh my god, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. You know, it's... Like I said, these four, despite being Yakuza members, are really respectful toward this girl.
Well, that's good.
And then they get a knock on the door, and he's still fucking beat up. Pardon my language. I'm trying to, like, cut back on how much I swear on here.
Oh, God, I don't even try.
But he's still beat up. He goes to the door, and he's like, what do you guys want? Bang! Gets shot right there. She's literally still sitting on the floor.
And imagining lost her fucking shit.
Oh, yeah, she's like, why? You didn't have to kill him. He was already injured. He would not have been able to do anything. And so that goes to it goes to another scene, and this is where, let's see. This is where she starts interacting with Sakuma more, the father figure. Where, you find out, oh, by the way, there's this other woman that's involved. She's kind of not important until near the end of the movie.
Is she a twat?
Not necessarily. She's just kind of like, you don't see the point of her as a character until near the end of the movie.
You're trying to figure out why she keeps getting these little...
Like the little bits of screen time.
Yeah. You always know something's going to happen when me and Aunt Christy watched the new Scream.
Yeah.
We're like, why do they keep showing her?
Yeah.
But yeah, she ain't doing nothing really.
Exactly. But I forget her name. I honestly do. She was like, that's how little of an impression she left on me until the very end.
Gotcha.
But like, she was asked by Izumi's father to live with her because they were in a relationship before he had passed away.
Oh.
So.
Was she the,
She was kind of a mistress.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. The guy that shoots May, like, I don't want to say kidnaps her, but like takes her and is like taking her to somewhere else where they meet up with Sakuma, who is mid-coitus, let's say.
Oh.
Yeah, like they don't show it, which is very tasteful of them. But you know.
You know they're doing the deed.
Oh yeah.
They're doing the buck nasty.
And you find out that the woman he's doing it with is the same woman that was supposed to be living with Izumi. Come to find out, that woman is the daughter of, like, one of the biggest Yakuza leaders in the area, who ransacked Izumi's household looking for heroin.
Okay.
And I know you probably don't know this, but Japan is very strict when it comes to stuff like guns and drugs. Like, even, I don't know if it's...
Like, nothing, like, bitches and hoes.
Like, they are very, like, you could have a single bud of weed and you would be imprisoned for it. Like, that's how strict they are. And and I don't even know, I think, like, only, like, certain government officials are allowed to have firearms. Like, not even...
It makes sense, because a lot of countries are like that.
But
and
anyway...
that's why they have less fucking mass shootings.
Yeah. But anyway... Where was... Oh, this is where you find out... Okay, yeah, the heroin bit. So you find out that there was supposedly heroin hidden in Izumi's house. And...
Was it staged?
In a sense... So, they ransack the place. You find out that the woman is the daughter of, I forget what the name of the family was that she's part of. But...
Another Yakuza?
Yeah, another Yakuza family. So, after that, Sakuma and Izumi are just kind of outside talking. Like, this is their moment to form, like, a more meaningful friendship. And... You know, you can kind of feel it, and then it kind of cuts back and forth between them and the woman, kind of showing how she's just kind of aloof. And, you know, it's a thing. And then at the end of the movie is where the skunked or not cold enough.
Not cold enough.
She does not like beer if it's not to a certain chill.
Ooh, I got margarita mix in there. I've got a bag of
the sour mix.
Not margarita. Sangria.
What? But anyway, near the end is where they technically have the moment with Masa, who you find out is gay.
Okay.
And you also find out...
Is that frowned upon over there?
At the time, probably. I don't know if it is anymore. Like, it's probably still a little dicey in terms of, like, conversation. But just like with the rest of the world, I think it's a bit more accepted now. But yeah, back in the day, I'm pretty sure that was, like, pretty frowned upon. Like, the Japanese are very much about tradition. And anything that goes against that is just, like, sacrilege. And you find out that Masa had... Oh, God, mucusy. Masa was in love at one point with Sakuma. But it was never like, oh, fuck you, you're queer, I don't want anything to do with you. It was more like, I appreciate it, but no. Again, for Yakuza guys, these four are really freaking respectful toward each other.
Well,
which is good.
I gotta give them credit for that.
And... Anyway.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were recording and I just ripped out a big-ass burp.
Good. Anyway. Sorry about that. What was I? Oh, right, the thing with Masa and Sakuma. So he was really respectful about it. I'm not going to go any further into detail past that point, because the final part of the movie is really important and really good.
Okay.
And I want to save that for if anyone wants to see the movie themselves.
So you're not spoiling the whole movie?
Just a good chunk of it.
Just 3/4.
But it's the fact that, like, I try to make
Did we even say spoiler alert in the beginning? Hey, spoiler alert!
Yeah. 20 minutes into the video, or episode.
We'll put it in the description.
But, it's... Spoilers or not, it's a good movie. Honestly, I went into it thinking, oh, it's gonna be some off-the-wall 80s action flick with a name like Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. By the way, the Sailor Suit part of the name comes from the fact that Japanese schoolgirls wear sailor suits, essentially.
I was thinking Sailor Moon.
No, you're on the right track.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how they dress.
I never watched it, but I know what it is.
You know what she looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's essentially how they dress for school, except their skirts go down longer than that.
Okay, yeah, because hers is pretty short.
Yeah, you gotta love, there's a term for that. I don't feel like talking about it, though.
Oh, okie dokie.
It's not dirty or anything. I just don't feel like talking about it, because that'll just put me in a different rant. Anyway, I thought it was gonna be some off-the-wall 80s action flick filled with, like, hokey campiness. But, I was pretty surprised that it felt more art house, I guess would be the best way to put it. Like,
okay, like an action movie?
It was, like I said at the top of the episode, coming of age / drama / Yakuza / weirdly dark comedy.
Okay.
There was a lot going for it.
It sounds like there's a whole shitload going on.
Yeah, like, it's...
But I'm glad nobody was getting the big R.
Oh, yeah, no, none of that. It told a really solid story with really well done cinematography for the time. Like, you're talking early 80s, and there's some really well done long takes.
Right.
And it's like, I just love movies. I couldn't find a budget for the film.
Okay.
But it didn't seem like it had too big of a budget to begin with. Like, I looked into...
What do their budgets run as opposed to what we would have over here?
So...
Is it, like, comparable, or...
So, for the sake of simplicity, I will use Shin Godzilla, which is the most recent Japanese Godzilla movie, okay?
Okay.
Let's see. That movie had a budget of... Let's see. So, that movie...
I'm just curious, you
yeah.
know.
So Shin Godzilla came out in 2016. It was completely in Japanese. It was, like, filmed and all that good shit. It had a budget that was the equivalent of $15 million American.
Okay.
So
that's about average.
Yeah. It made almost $80 million in box office.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah. Shin Godzilla is like top 5
Is
Godzilla
it good?
movies. It's really good.
Okay. Do they have subtitles?
It does, but there is also an English voice track.
All right, I might have to watch that because I do love a Godzilla movie.
And Godzilla's fucking scary.
I
love him.
I do love Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla is probably my favorite version of Godzilla. It's definitely a slow mo- no, going off track. Anyway,
Whoopsie.
so Sailor Suit definitely didn't have a big budget, but I mean, it didn't really need a whole lot of yen to really pull off what it did.
What is a yen?
Yen
compared
is
to a dollar.
80 cents.
Okay.
It might actually be less now. But yeah. So
if you were a millionaire in the States and took that money over there,
so
you'd be fucking rich.
yeah.
I mean, you'd be rich here too, but
So yeah, 1 Japanese yen as of today,
sorry.
May 27th, 2022. I'm sorry to date it, but this is going to help people.
Right.
As of today, the Japanese yen, a single Japanese yen equals actually less than 80 cents.
Oh, wow.
It is equal to 0.0079 US dollars. Not even a full cent.
Wow.
Anyway.
That's wow.
Oh yeah. It is not a very powerful currency at the moment. But, so there are 2 versions of this movie. There's the theatrical cut, which is the one I watched. Like I said earlier, runs at about 112 minutes, which just shy of 2 hours. And then there's the director's cut, which I plan on watching sometime in the near future so I can kind of compare them. I might do like a mini update to say like, stick with the theatrical or, watch the director's cut. There's important stuff. And that adds almost 20 minutes to the runtime, putting it at 131 minutes or 2 hours and 11 minutes.
See, it better be interesting because I'm getting bored if it's that damn long.
It's an interesting in terms of concept. Like, it's the copy of the movie that I got. By the way, the only reason I was able to find this movie is because this is the first time it has been released outside of Japan. This guy's movies do not make it out of Japan. Not because they're bad or anything. It's just that there's Western audiences are only recently being more open to foreign films. All in all, movie surprised me with how calm it kept itself despite how crazy the concept was.
Okay.
It's definitely worth a watch. I'd give the theatrical cut a well-earned 8.5 out of 10.
Well, shit.
So it is, like I said earlier, it is Japanese language only. So if you don't like subtitles, like my mother,
I don't, man. I don't want to read a fucking movie.
this may be a pass, but I do say that a lot of good cinema, whether it's Japanese or German or whatever language, is ignored because of that obstacle. And I think the best quote to kind of drive that home would be from the Golden Globe winning director Bong Joon-ho, who directed Parasite, the movie that won...
Okay.
The Korean movie that won the Golden Globe. He also directed one of my favorite foreign monster flicks called The Host, which I didn't know at the time. He also did...
I feel like I saw that.
It's a Korean monster movie. You might have seen it. It might, because that one does have an English language track, I think, to it. You know how they had that Snowpiercer TV show?
Yeah.
You remember how they had the movie for that, like, years ago?
Yeah, but I never watched it.
He directed the movie.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, the quote that he actually said this during his acceptance speech at the Golden Globes. Once you overcome the 1-inch tall barrier of subtitles, you'll be introduced to so many more amazing films. Which I
get it, but I don't want to fucking read a movie.
Which I 100% agree with.
And then, here's the thing. Look. Subtitles get in my way of watching what's going on. I put so much effort. This is my ADD brain.
I mean, I have...
That I'm reading and missing the action.
That's why you glance, quickly scan...
I'd be pausing. Okay, I'm pausing.
You scan the subtitles and watch the action. But, yes, very good movie. Loosely tied to what we talk about on this podcast in terms of true crime, because the Yakuza are still active at this current time. I won't say
careful with your words.
I won't say much more than that because I don't know if there are any little hidden groups in the nearby area, which I hope not. This isn't a very Japanese heavy area.
Well, there's
I mean, there's always Philly.
Stuff in Philly.
There's Philly and New York.
Hey guys, be our friend.
Onegaishimasu.
Or just act like we don't exist.
Gomenasai! That means sorry.
We're not here.
Wait, is it gomenasai or is it sumimasen?
I don't know. Quit fucking up their language.
I have nothing but respect for their language. Thank you. But yes, very good movie. Definitely worth a watch. If you're okay with subtitles.
Yeah, I'm not.
definitely worth a watch.
It is what it is.
What in the c'est la vie did you just say?
It is what it is.
But,
and that is what it shall be.
But, yeah, very good movie. Highly recommend it. Especially if you're... And it's funny because, like, all this is going on and it's got, like, It's got, like, the classic city pop music going on where it's, like, the real upbeat, poppy synth music.
And people are getting killed.
Not even that. It's just, like, the subject matter gets really, like... It's, like, it gets, like, mature. And all you hear is... Dun, 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 in the background. And you're like, hold on. But,
Wait a tick.
oh, man. That's why I was right the first time. Anyway, but yes. Sailor Suit Machine Gun... 8.5 out of 10. That's just for the director's cut. I am sure I will do a mini update when I get around to watching the director's cut because that's another time sink. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to me rant. This one was significantly shorter than when I did The Privilege, but it's because I didn't want to go into too much depth because there was a lot believe it or not, there was a lot I left out.
I believe it.
And because I want people to be able to enjoy these kinds of movies. And
he didn't spoil the whole thing.
Yes, I talked about a lot of it, but I did not talk about the ending at any point. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for listening to me rant. Thank you for tuning into Horror Cultural. Crow Love. My brain is
and he's not even drinking.
My brain is a mile a minute right now, because...
Could have been that G Fuel you slammed.
Nah, that was like half empty when I brought it out.
Oh, okay.
So I've been nursing that throughout the day. G Fuel, please sponsor me.
We love you, G Fuel. Pink Drip and Rainbow Sherbet.
But, I sent you guys an email about having my own flavor. Please respond. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Thank you for tuning into Horror Cultural, where we grow love for all things spooky and macabre, which isn't really what we talked about today, but I digress. I don't care. My podcast, our podcast, I'm allowed to break the rules every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
So, if you want me to rant about any more movies, feel free to send us any suggestions. If I've seen it, I might just go off the cuff right there. Otherwise, I'll have to rewatch it.
We have no problems going off script. Shit.
I did it like 4 times. I was going off script and I was reading the script that I wrote. But... make sure you check us out on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. You can send us an email at horrorcultural@gmail.com. And
we have our own website now.
Yes, that is so fresh that I keep forgetting. We have a website, horrorcultural.com.
We have a .com!
Not like...
.this, .that,
Yeah, not like...
That's a matter of fact.
Not like... horrorcultural.wordpress.com or squarespace.horrorcultural.com.
But there's nothing wrong with those.
Nothing wrong with those whatsoever. But we have an actual, like, horrorcultural.com, and we are very proud of that. So
it's still a work in progress. Don't beat me up. I'm working on it.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we hope you tune into the next episode. Aha! I fixed it this time!
Stay safe, guys. Love your family. Cherish everyone, and since Monday is, well, by the time you guys hear this, it will be after Memorial Day.
It will have been this past Monday when this episode comes out.
But thank you to all of our vets, and happy Memorial Day, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye!
Peace!